What is up, everyone? So it's Monday morning. You might be able to see up my face. I figured since it's Monday, let's start the week off by doing something super fun that I really want to do, and it's gonna be a great time, but we have to do it. That sounds sarcastic?
Yeah.
As we wait for parts for the Porsche to come in now, I figured we'd get some things on the coupe because I want to get this thing finished up because I want to drive it. One of the last major hurdles of just dread is going to be getting the inside sealed up. So obviously we have this fresh cage in here, this beautiful cage by Action. We have all this bare metal that was metal repair, and obviously it's red and the car is not going to be red again, so we have to get rid of it. So we have to paint the whole inside of the car, which sucks. It's not fun, it's just one of those things you have to do. But once it's painted, we could then start getting the interior, and I can get the carpet in and get the seats in.
The dash, everything will start falling together.
Exactly. And then I can start putting the stuff on the firewall, like the pedals, the brake boost, or the master cylinders, and I can finish up that stuff in the bay. And this is
the next major hurdle.
This is the next major hurdle. From here, it's just, you know, lines, piping, the instant gratification, cool stuff. Feels like you're actually getting somewhere with it. So let's get it over with.
It's the best way we can go about it.
Yeah, it's the best way we gotta do it. So let's get to it. All right.
You're breaking out the big mask.
I'll break out the big mask, all right? You'll see why. Give me a second, all right? So remember how when I finished the fuel cell, I was like, oh, that's the last of the rust. Well, I completely lied to you guys because there's still rust inside here.
Yeah, it's just surface rust, though.
It's just surface. That's the last of the rot. There's a couple areas that I'm just gonna smear with seam sealer, but we gotta get rid of it, and I don't have time to mess around, so I'm gonna use the big thing. But I'm pretty sure this over-rotates this, and so it shoots these things out and hurts. But it works so well that I'm just gonna get to it. So Austin, that's
why you got the big mask.
Bro, I need gloves. You ever have these things impale in your arm or your cheek? Not a good time. So, but this thing. So, Austin, be careful. Clean up half decent. It's not too bad. We're gonna have to neutralize it, but of course we have all this sound deadening. You see it in the back. You don't see much here because there's so much metal work, but the real question is, do we remove it or do we just paint over it? So that's where we pick the battle of, we're not going too crazy here. I think we're gonna just leave it. Doesn't really add much more weight. It'll be covered by carpet anyways. I was tempted to remove it. I realized that I kind of messed up, and we already underbodied the car, which means if I start putting a lot of heat to this, or if I put dry ice on it, it might actually separate the coating we have on the bottom of the car too. You have to think about that, right? Because you're putting it on this metal, but on the other side of it, there's another coating, which it could damage, so now it's too late. I'm gonna take this little chunks off here because it's kind of already flaking off. Make sure there's no rust under it, and just ship it. Sound good? Scuff it, shoot it, forget about it, never think about it again. Many moments later, most of the rest is grounded down. What happens is you still kind of get like that brown, orangey looking surface, right? We all know what that looks like. We've all grinded rust before, wire wheeled rust before. Well, unless you're really lucky and you live in an area that doesn't have rust, screw you. You can't just leave it like that, right? Because the rust reaction will continue to happen, so we have to neutralize it, right? So we use the stuff called Rust More. It's by Sem. Do I love it? Eh. Brian likes it.
It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, right? A lot of guys will use like the rust, like transformers and stuff like that. Honestly, this is one of the better ones, but you can't just spray it on rust. You have to actually try and get most of it off. This just helps kind of like get the last bit of it. So usually brushing on, I put a spray bottle on it because I'm a psycho and it works pretty good.
It doesn't come with the spray?
No, it's mint though. Usually you have to pour in a cup and whatever, but a little goes a long way. That's probably why they don't do this. So I'll just spray lightly all the areas that had rust, and it'll kind of, you know, attempt to neutralize what's left of it. See, there's a little bit right here, but don't spray too much because it gets like gooey and it sucks. That's probably why you just brush it on, but there's a lot over here. So basically this is just an acid, and it's trying to stop the reaction. So you gotta be careful, right? Because if you spray it on something that's sensitive to acid, it will damage it. Especially like if there's a finish that you like on it, keep it small. And you don't wanna leave it on for super long. We're gonna wanna neutralize it. So if it's a small bit, it'll naturally neutralize. Where we have a lot of overspray here, we're basically gonna get a wet rag and we're gonna kind of just wipe it down. All right, so we let the acid kind of stop the oxidation reaction, right? And you can tell because the rust is no longer like that orangey look, it's now black, right? You want it to look black. You could do a couple passes on it. Heat gun actually helps a little bit if you want to speed up the reaction. So I think we're good. I think all the rust in here is stopped. We already spent the time and took out all the damn clips and screws on the inside. It never ends. So now it's time for the fun part, Austin. We gotta make sure this thing has a good surface for the paint to stick to, or else the paint's just gonna flake off over time and look like crap and the red will come out. Red cars are the worst because when you try to color change them, they'll forever be red. And so we're trying to
never get rid of it all.
We're trying to hide as much red as possible. We're gonna do what we do. We get a red Scotch-Brite and we're gonna scuff and we're gonna make sure we have a good mechanical bond for our paint. You excited?
If I tell you yes, will it make you feel better?
Yeah. All right, one more last tip is when you scuff it for the first time, use glass cleaner with it because if you can tell it's filthy, right? So not only will we make a nice like bonding surface, but we'll also clean it at the same time. It's kind of like a 2-for-1-Z right there.
A twofer?
That's a twofer right there. Get all the dirt off and give us a good paint surface. So let's get to it.
One eternity later.
So we usually have pretty good luck with the glass cleaner, but it looks like we have so much bare metal that is causing the rust to flash because we're not wiping it off right away. If you got a lot of bare metal, it's better off just using wax and grease. I'm gonna grab some in this bottle. So wax and grease you can get at Home Depot and it will not rust that. So just gotta clean up the little spots, just wipe it off. One thing that does suck about having the sound deadening in and not removing it is the fact that it holds so much dirt. Like, look at this. We've gone over this so many times. There's still a little bit of dirt in there. So looks like we're doing it drift car style and painting over dirt. It'll be fine. I mean, it's so in there, dude, at this point. It is what it is. All right, so we are clean, Scotch-Brited, clean again. All prepped, ready to go. And now, before we actually mask up and lay out the big stuff, I'm gonna take some self-etch primer on all the bare metal spots that we have that I wanna put seam sealer on, right? So I'm gonna put seam seal on a couple of these little spots just because it'd make me feel better about them, especially these like little crusty spots. Like you guys remember this little hole in the back? Just a little bit of seam seal to cover the hole, you know? Like, this ain't no resto, but it'll prevent, you know, us from having an actual hole in the floor, so. You guys know I love seam sealer. Well, I love putting it on, I just hate removing it, so. I don't have a tip for it. I'm just gonna take this and brush it in. It's nice because like, say your metal's all pitted and stuff from rust, but you got it all neutralized. The seam sealer will kind of like fill it in, fill in any of the pinholes, and kind of encapsulate it, so when you paint over it, you know, if it's in a spot that you don't really see, it makes you feel good about it. It's just like gone. So look at it. Get in here. It's all brushed in. You would never know that we have all that pitting and stuff due to rust. Just brush it in. Don't drop your brush in it. If you patch a floor pan too, a lot of guys will just seam seal around the edges because it's really easy to have pinholes in it. And you don't want any moisture coming through. You know what I mean? That's the best part about seam sealer, is just to seal it up. Sick. I mean, we can go crazy with the seam seal. You guys know I love my seam sealer, but underneath the car, we went nuts. Underneath the car has so much seam seal on it that this thing is
encapsulated.
Encapsulated, we'll use as the word, all right? So we didn't have to go too crazy on the inside because we know a lot of those patch panels are sealed underneath. So.
Rust is off.
Rust is off.
Seam sealed, cleaned.
Cleaned, all of that, blown out. Between every clip is probably an hour. So huge shout out to the boys for helping me on this one. But now it is time to mask off everywhere we don't want paint. So one thing that is a little nuts is I wanted the headliner in the car, so I had to make the cage to fit the headliner. He actually welded the damn cage in with the headliner in, so the headliner won't come out, unfortunately. But I mean, I'm not gonna complain about a tight cage, so it's either rip it out and have no headliner or try and paint with the headliner in. So I think what we're gonna do is just kind of like run a piece of plastic up and just try to get it as best as we can. If it doesn't come out decent, we'll just remove the headliner and just deal with it. But having a headliner in a cage car it's a sick feeling, all right? My black coupe has it, and it does a lot for the car, so we're gonna try our best. We're gonna back tape the ones on the firewall so we don't spray paint in the engine bay. We'll probably, I don't know, maybe just leave the windows open so we can get in here. If we get overspray on the car, it's not a big deal, it needs to be standard anyways. Yeah. We got a lot of masking to do, you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Filling holes with the boys.
I don't know about that one.
God, it's a party. So much dirt. I should have swept before I did this.
It's so funny. We're like opposite masking.
Yeah, the inverse. Usually you mask all the windows. This is like everything but the window. Oh my goodness, oh my god. It never is. Oh, you're filming. We're getting there. Every step of this process is like one of those steps that you just think it's never gonna end. And you just keep chugging along and eventually you finish
The
up.
spraying is the easiest.
The spray is the easiest part, right? Everything else is, you could always do more too, so you just want to keep going. But there's a couple things on the interior I wish I could do more, but I've called it. I think we should wrap them on the inside. I want to so bad.
It's gonna have a carpet in it though.
You know what sucks? Is we're trying to like casually do this car, but you're always just 15 to 20% away from it being awesome. You know what I mean? It makes you want to do that 15-20% every time. Like if we base cleared the bay, we were so close to just base clearing it. If I base cleared it, it would look incredible, but it would have been that extra. When do you draw the line? How do people do this? Is difficult.
Quick and simple goes out the window real fast.
Quick and simple. But I think we've been quite efficient with this car. All right, she's masked up, and what are we gonna paint it with? There's a million different options, but we're gonna go with Steel It Black. This has been like the theme of the car. I love the Steel It Gray for cages. It's such a cool cage color, but we'd have to do double the masking. We're gonna paint it black, so. I'm hoping this Steel It stuff is decent. Like this is the first car we're using it a lot on. If it sucks, it's gonna suck, because the whole car is basically sealed with this stuff, so. We're gonna find out. Stay tuned for the next 12 months to find out, but the black is okay. It has a weird sheen to it. It's not my favorite. So I hope it doesn't drive me nuts on the cage, because like just like a chassis roll bar paint always looks great in cages. This stuff kind of looks like grill paint, doesn't it?
I still like it though.
You like it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's still growing on me. Like the Steel It Gray looks awesome on the Pro car, but I didn't want to commit to that on this car. I kind of wanted it more subtle, so we'll see how we like it. Hopefully it doesn't look bad. It's so much work to paint a cage that be confident in the color you like. Can we like put some clear in here? Tint it a little bit. So what's nice about using the Steel It is the fact that it comes in a can, and we're gonna use the can to get the tight spots first, right? So we'll get all the tight edges of the cage with the can, where it's hard to get the gun, and it'll give us a good baseline. There's a lot of intricate corners here, so. This is thick stuff, huh?
Read my mind.
It's gonna be like the Pro car. The more that we delete of like the burgundy red, the better. If a car comes red, leave it red. I say that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, this one is like more like a burgundy, you know? I'm just being a hypocrite, I guess, but I don't know. The car just came so rough and gross that I'm like excited to just see like the red gone. It's gonna just make it look like a different car to me. Rewrite the feel of it. It'll be nice. We have a cool color in mind that's a little bit different for me. and I'm excited for it. So step one is just getting rid of as much red as possible. Just another 240 getting spray painted black.
Together.
It's all coming together. Step one to building a car is this. Now we have the rest of it. Do me a favor, go on DJ's channel and just bug him until he turns his E46 M3 into a drift car. He has that.
He hasn't touched that thing.
Dude, he got that thing so cheap. It's a fully refreshed like engine drivetrain package, M3, that has a rebuilt title he paid nothing for, and there's nothing with it.
He could sell the bags off of it and buy everything he needs to make that a drift car.
E46 M3 is like, I've seen so many people have the ultimate seat time car with that car, because you actually have a decent amount of power. It's reliable once you do the maintenance, and it's a BMW and it drives amazing. I want him to drift. Go bully DJ in drifting. Not too much though, I don't want to drive him nuts, but DJ, no way. Tell him to change his M3 into a drift car. So, drift car?
Who?
You know, E46, like,
James is trying to convince me to do something. Not.
try something different. Come hang out with us. If it sucks, just sell the car to me. It's all right.
not gonna suck. I'm gonna have another bad addiction, and I don't need that. I don't know. It would be cool. I would probably suck at doing it.
I don't know,
too.
you whip, dude. You always impress me.
I don't know how to really whip back the other way though. Like,
some people can just whip, and DJ, I've seen you whip.
M3 drift car would be pretty cool.
That's got a salvage title.
Maybe we have another employee day and then bring DJ along.
I'll come.
Just ruin all my friends' lives by getting into the drifting.
You gotta show me the way, James. What do I need? An angle kit and a bucket? No, I don't need an angle kit, do I?
We'll get you an angle kit.
Knuckles?
Yeah, go get coils, angle kit, bucket seat, party.
Harness, that's it.
Stock seat belt.
Yeah, he'd be fine with stock seatbelt.
I don't have them in the car.
You need a harness it.
I've been driving the car for a month. Oh, it's covered. It looks so nice not to see red in there anymore, but
That sucks so much.
yeah, this gun was not meant for it. It was like you were drawing with a Sharpie the whole time. But man, that looks way better. Also, if you're curious, 1 gallon of steel did the whole inside, the cage, and the engine bay.
To be fair, if we would have reduced it and used that gun, it would have been fine. Or if we would have just used the other gun, that probably would have saved more material.
I would have liked to do that because it would be nice to do more than 1 coat, but it's a pretty heavy coat, so.
It's pretty heavy. It was heavy.
All right, well, we'll see you in the morning once it dries. All right, it's the next day, and it looks great. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I think it looks better as an interior paint than engine bay paint, because there's so many body lines in the inside that this like weird, bright, flat black actually looks good, where in the engine bay there's too much flat surface, and it just kind of like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Still take hot rod black over this.
Yeah, I would say hot rod black is a better
Sem
hot rod black. If I was to redo the engine bay, that's what I would have done. Tempted the Raptor line the inside of the car, but there's gonna be a carpet. It doesn't need it. So what we're gonna do is Raptor line the inside of the trunk. I want the sturdy stuff bouncing around. I probably won't put stuff back there.
You're not putting a sub in here?
I should put a sub in there, but it's not gonna be bouncing around.
Front Street Coupe always had a sub.
Yeah, I gotta put a sub in here. I can corner bounce the weight of the car with the sub.
With the sub.
But we have to seam seal and underbody the underside of the new floor pan, so we might as well do the top too. Make it look good. So we will be seam sealing this edge because it takes 2 seconds and does a lot for us. So that's a fair amount of seam sealing. So we now have this new panel in here, and it's a metal layer on top of metal layer. It's a really good spot for moisture to sit and cause a bunch of issues over the long term. So by taking the extra 2 seconds to seam seal it before underbodying it, we don't gotta worry about it. God, this stuff dries fast. 4 and the 2.
4 and the 2. Who's this guy? I fucking love this kid.
Yeah.
How long does it gotta be shaken for?
I don't know, until it feels right. Oh, this is it. This is so good. Oh, look at that line.
Nice
you see
line.
those? You see those like caulkers on Instagram? Where they put the V and they bend it and they do go crazy with the line.
That's you. That's you.
AO Oaks Garage.
The caulkers. Caulk game crazy.
Bro, don't. Not behind me.
All right, you guys have seen us do this a million times, but it's part of the process. So, seam sealed up, no bare metal, seam sealed up, and now we're gonna underbody, so it is, well, good to go for a very long time. It makes you want to just do the whole inside, doesn't it? Like the E36, it's all tinted red, wrapping liner on the inside, but that's because we're running no interior. So it looks really nice, and it's super durable, which is amazing, but we'll have interior. This is gonna force me to put interior in this car.
Yep.
By not putting this down. But damn, does that look nice. Especially when you do color match. Like if you color match it to the outside of your car with the E36, it's so freaking sick. You know what, let's just do the 4. It looks sick. Come on, the can's already here. Like, we're already there. No, the red's coming back out. The red actually looks kind of cool against like the black inside.
It doesn't look bad.
Ooh, that's cool to see. This is like the first time I looked at the car and been like, dude, this is a cool car. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
love that. I've been so excited for this build.
Me too. And I know I was gonna get there. Like I've built enough cars now that I know when to not lose motivation.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will get to a point and they're like they can't see that next step, and so they lose motivation. And they don't get there. But I know where to just like, you know,
Where to buckle down and where it's gonna feel real.
Exactly. And so like the trunk's great. There's gonna be no interior back here, so we did the Raptor liner, and it just looks good as is. Black fuel cell in here with the D-Works hanger. It's gonna look sick. Like obviously looks only one part of it, but it's not a lot of extra work to make it look that much cooler. And then you feel good about it. But seeing the inside not all rusty, crusty, bare metal, and just everything, it looks incredible. Like it actually feels like a nice shell now. You remember when we first got the car, I was super devastated because it was a lot rougher than I thought. Like obviously we could fix anything, but our biggest problem is just not having enough time down here. We're getting called up pretty quick. This build is definitely not a YouTube build. This is more just something I really, really want. And so we're just trying to get through it quickly. So you guys have seen us do so many S chassis, but this thing is cool to watch come together. Come over here. This is the best angle. You stand right here and you're like, damn, that thing is gonna be cool. Like it feels like a nice car. Like you look at this and you're like, damn, that's a really nice S chassis. I can't believe you're gonna drift it. I'll say we saved this one.
Oh, 100%.
100%. This thing was crap before. Look at it now. It's like, yeah, there's not much left. Well, we have a lot of work to do, but now it's all the fun.
That's all fun bits.
It's all fun, but it's all the gratification.
Flashy stuff.
The car's actually going together now.
Exactly, but then we gotta do the wiring, the plumbing, all that stuff, which isn't fun.
Carpet's my favorite part.
But I want to show you guys before we leave you, because if you made it, yeah, because if you made it this far in the video and heard me talk this much, you guys deserve to see this. I want to have fun with this car. I want to make it a little bit extra, and so you can get an aftermarket carpet for the 240. You almost have to, because stock carpets are super hard to find. You can get an aftermarket carpet for these things in any color. Like literally, they sell every single color. So I decided let's do something a little bit crazy, and I
love this.
I picked 2 colors. I don't know which one I'm gonna do yet. I think I have an idea which one I want to do, but I picked 2 different colors, and they're both extra. And they're a little crazy, but I think we'll pull it off pretty fun. So I'll show you the more modest one first, right? So check this one, right? So this is a purple. Wow, I never opened it like this. So this one's kind of cool because it's a dark purple. So both of these colors would go with the color I plan on painting the car. But this is this is just Barney, and I like it.
Yeah. This is so sick. I
Dude,
love
even this is purple. Like the kick plate, the little foot plate. And then for our second option that I think we're all in love with, dude, that's so good open. We got pink. Dude, The pink accents are awesome. They're
By
fun.
the car.
It looks like a lot right now, but if it has like black seats on it and like it settles it down.
It'll be, you know, black center console, black seats, the dash. It'll be just a subtle accent. I think it'd be fun. Yeah, let's bring it by the car. Yeah. All right, I don't want to put it in yet because the paint needs like one more day to cure, but
That's gonna be so
it'll be sick. It'll be fun.
Matches the valve cover. All the crazy accents. Oh, that's good.
Just go, you know, just have fun with it. Why not, right? Like I look at the car and I'm like, ooh, black and red. That's my combo. I like that.
Do you though?
Yeah, I love the black. Now that it's black and red, I'm like, this is sick. I love black and red. You guys know that. But we're going to switch it up. We're going to do something different. Have some fun with it. So, pink carpet. Pink or purple? Let me know what you guys think.
Trust the process.
Kind of like the pink. But for now, we got over the last real annoying hurdle of the project. Now it's just building a car with nice new stuff. So, now it feels like I have a car. Before it just felt like a scrap project. Now it feels like a car. So, hope you guys have been enjoying the process, but for now, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys very shortly.
It's sad because I